Hello, you guys. Hello, you guys. We're going to talk about the importance of having the right conversations, right? Because believe it or not, it's not what you're selling, it's the issue with the conversation. And because you don't know how to communicate effectively what you're trying to offer, what you're trying to sell, how you want to relay a message, you shut yourself down. So now you won't talk about it or tell someone about what you have to offer because you're afraid of having that conversation, right? Have you been in that position where, hey, I want to do something, but I don't know how to relay the message on what I want to do? And I'm kind of iffy or worried about what they're going to say if I do introduce what I want to introduce to that particular individual. So have you been in that place before, right? How are you afraid of having a conversation, right? Conversation is just a form of communication. And because we're timid when it comes to communicating or being able to have that conversation, right? It shuts us down and it creates a barrier where we're not able to fully walk into what we need to walk into when it comes to either our lives, our businesses, whatever that entails, right? So we're going to talk about the importance of having a conversation and how to have a conversation, but we're going to dissect some of the things that are causing people to miss out on opportunities because they're afraid of having a conversation, right? So when you're thinking about conversation, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that scares me so much about talking to other people? What are some of the barriers that you may face when it comes to talking to a person about anything that may take place? What about your product? What is it about that product and you engaging with other people so that you'll be able to explain that product, get them to buy into what you're selling, and be able to get them to, want to do business with you? So ask yourself that question. What is it that you're so afraid of when it comes to communicate with individuals, right? And I'm gonna give you a few things that typically, a person that's afraid to have a conversation thinks about. The first thing they think about, they're scared of what to say, right? They don't know what to say. And because they don't know what to say, they don't know what words to use, right? They don't know if, hey, how do I sound? Did that sound right? And so that's one of the trigger factors for a lot of individuals that are struggling to have a conversation. Number one, they don't know, what to say? Am I using the right words in that context that is going to get that particular person to buy into what I'm selling, right? That's number one. The second thing that hinders people from having a conversation, they're scared about what the person is going to say, right? Are they going to listen to what I have to say? Are they going to want to buy what I have to offer, right? And so you become fearful of what they're going to say. You forget about, hey, how do I translate what I want them to get from that conversation with me? So that's the second thing. And the third thing, you don't know where to start. A lot of times we don't know how to open up the conversation. So because we don't know how to open up the conversation, we're not going to talk. We're not going to say anything, right? Because we don't know how to approach that conversation with that particular person when we're trying to offer a product, a service that we offer, or if we're just trying to talk to them in general. We don't know how to open up that conversation. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, sometimes you're scared because you don't know how it's going to pan out, right? Because you're automatically in your mind, you're thinking, okay, well, they're not going to go with it anyway. They're not going to buy it anyway. But sometimes we're afraid, yes, what if what you tell them, they want to invest in it? Now you're struggling because now you didn't think about that they were going to say yes. You've already got that perception in your mind. Hey, they're going to say no. They're not going to buy my product and service. So because you built that perception in your mind, then guess what? When they say yes, you're fumbling, you're everywhere because you never proactively thought about what that yes would look like. Do I have everything in place to be able to accommodate that yes, right? So that's one of the things. And the last thing, you're scared of what they're going to say and do, right? When in actuality, it's not up to you to worry about what they're going to say and what they're going to do. Your job is to figure out, how do I approach that conversation? How do I elaborate that conversation or put that conversation in terms where they understand fully what I'm trying to offer or what I am trying to say? So those are 5 things that keep people afraid of having a conversation and keep people from being able to effectively communicate. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know what to say. They don't know why they're saying it. They don't know how they're going to, how a person is going to feel about what they're saying. Basically, they don't know how to approach the conversation, and they're worried about what the person is going to think about the conversation, and they're not prepared for a yes. So ask yourself, what is it about the conversation that is causing you to be gung shy from introducing the product or services that you offer? What is it about that, right? These are some of the things that you're going to have to do a deep dive within yourself. Hey, what is it? Or why am I struggling to communicate with potential clients? Why am I struggling to communicate with people in regards to what I offer, right? That starts with asking those questions. Why am I afraid? Who am I afraid of, right? Why am I always thinking about no? Why haven't I prepared for my yes, right? Those are some of the things that you need to think about when you're thinking about having a conversation. If you're planning on communicating and making a transaction when it comes to selling something, right? So look, those are some of the things I want you to think about when having a conversation, right? Think about some of those things and do a self-evaluation and find out what is it about that conversation or that communicating with somebody else that is scaring you so much, right? And then when you start doing that, then you'll be able to better analyze and have an effective conversation. And then you'll be able to communicate what you offer, because what you offer and what you sell it all starts with a conversation. It starts with communicating that, right? And if you don't know, or you're not comfortable with having a conversation to communicate what you sell or what you offer, then guess what? You're not going to come out the gate prepared to be able to accept the yeses that are waiting on you. You're going to always fixate your mind on that no, right? And that's going to stagnate your growth when it comes to offering what you offer in your prospective business. Look, hey, are you afraid of having a conversation? If you're afraid of having a conversation, let's chat so we can build up your confidence when it comes to communicating effectively what you offer, why you're offering it, who you want to offer it to, right? And prepare yourself mentally to be able to accept the yeses, right? And not always fixated on somebody telling you no, because there are a lot of yeses out there, right? But you got to be able to have an effective conversation and communicate that, hey, look, I'm looking for your yes, right? I'm going to get past your no's and I'm welcoming your yes. Look, you guys, hope this helps someone. Go back out and think about the conversation and find out why you're afraid to have that conversation so that you can boost your sales, so that you can grow and you can be able to better effectively communicate what you have to offer. Hey, you guys, my name is ToniaLewis. I'm a mindset and business success coach, right? If you need some help, look, feel free to reach out. I will attach my link at the bottom of this video. You guys have a good one.